don't have a right to do this. This isn't...
Jill Dillard grew up in one of the most prominent reality TV families of all time, the Duggars from TLC's 19 Kids and Counting. For years, nobody knew that behind the scenes, Jill and her sisters were the victims of many terrible family secrets. As Jill became estranged from her family over the course of several years, she's revealed more and more about the details of her crazy upbringing in the Duggar household. Although the family was portrayed as wholesome, religious, and strict with their morals, there was more going on behind the scenes with this family than anyone could have ever imagined. The Duggar parents held their family to a very high standard. The girls were only allowed to wear dresses or skirts, they were not allowed to date in the traditional sense, and they could not consume popular TV shows or music. On TV, it appeared as though the kids were more than happy to go along with their parents' rules. However, as each of the kids got older and left their family home, the truth began to come out. And that was especially true for the second oldest daughter, Jill, who was known as one of the most obedient children in the family. She always followed her parents' rules and did as she was told, even going so far as to court a man that her father, Jim Bob, had picked out for her after he had been Jim Bob's pen pal. That man was Derek Dillard, and in 2014, he and Jill were married. At the time of their wedding, no one had any idea just how scandalous and devastating things were about to get for the Duggar family and the rift that it would cause between Jill and her family. Less than a year after Derek and Jill's wedding, it was revealed that Jill's brother Josh had acted inappropriately towards 4 of her sisters during the years of 2002 until 2003. The news shocked the world, most of whom had never expected that something so horrible was happening behind closed doors at the Duggar household. However, it was only the beginning of the nightmare for Josh's victims, including Jill. Both Jill and her sister Jessa became the center of a media frenzy as it was revealed that they were 2 of their brother's victims. They both appeared in an interview with Megyn Kelly, and although both girls were visibly upset, they defended their brother and minimized his actions at the time. Even still, they didn't stop the consequences that the family faced. Just a month after the interview, the family's popular TV show 19 Kids and Counting was canceled by TLC. Instead, TLC crafted a reboot of the show called Counting On that would instead focus on Jill, Jessa, and their new growing families. Their brother Josh was not allowed to participate. Things seemed to be going well for Jill and Derek until 2017 when it was announced that they were leaving the show that put them in the spotlight once and for all. There was a wave of controversy surrounding their exit, and the reason will shock you. Around the time that the Dillards left TLC, Derek went on a Twitter rampage against a fellow TLC star, Jazz Jennings. His comments about the young girl disgusted so many people that many fans were petitioning TLC to remove Derek from his in-laws show. As a result, TLC announced that they had cut ties with Derek and that they had no plans to work with him in the future. Derek, on the other hand, revealed that wasn't exactly the truth. Derek claimed that his rift with TLC was not due to his comments about Jazz Jennings, but rather his own choice that he made months before due to issues that he had with production of Counting On. He remained fairly tight-lipped at the time, but this statement was just the beginning of years of issues between Jill and her famous family. Before this, Jill was thought by many to be the golden child of her family, which made her estrangement all the more shocking. And it took years for people to learn what really happened between Jill and her family, and the real story is pretty unbelievable. In 2020, years after their dramatic exit from Counting On, Jill and Derek began posting videos on their own YouTube channel. Although most just chronicled their daily lives in a vlog format, Jill and Derek eventually decided to tell more of their story in a Q&A style format. In those videos, Jill answered many questions about her family and upbringing that no one in the Duggar family had ever answered before. She talked about the strict rules that they had as kids, why she no longer lives by them now, and then revealed that she was still estranged from her family after all of these years. The reason for the estrangement appeared to be complicated. She got very upset as she explained that she didn't want to go into detail, but that she had been dealing with some disagreements with the family that had caused the estrangement. Whatever reason anyone thought could be the reason for the Duggar family fighting, it would have been hard to guess the actual reason that was revealed just a few days later. After their video was published, Derek and Jill did a few interviews that revealed who Jill was fighting with and why. While many guessed the fighting was with any of her dozens of siblings over her new lifestyle, the real person she was fighting with was very unexpected: her father. Jill and Derek explained that the fighting began when they left Counting On in 2017. They revealed that none of the kids, including Jill and Derek, had ever been paid for appearing on the show. Rather, Jim Bob was paid per episode for the entire family's appearance. They said that Jim Bob explained it to the kids as though appearing on the show was a ministry and was not done for financial purposes. Jill and Derek also explained that she had decided to seek legal action toward her father. It's unclear whether or not she filed a lawsuit. However, she did reveal that she had hired a lawyer that helped her get the money her father owed her after years of appearing on the show. Derek then said that although it may seem like they received a lot of money on the surface, it actually worked out to be a little bit more than minimum wage. It was also apparent that Jill's parents did not agree with her new lifestyle and did not want her to influence their younger children. After Jill's marriage to Derek, she began wearing pants, listening to mainstream music and TV shows, and even got her nose pierced. She had completely turned away from the lifestyle that her parents raised her in. Because of her new lifestyle and fight about money with her dad, it was reported that Jill was banned from even entering her parents' house. At the time, Jill's sister and arguably her closest family member Joy seemed to publicly call out her sister Jill separating from the family, something that had never happened before amongst the Duggar siblings. An Instagram account called Duggar Bates Confession posted a picture with a fan's opinion of Jill's estrangement from her family, stating, "I realize Jill Duggar needs to distance herself from her family for mental health reasons, but I don't understand why they need to make their issues with their family so public. Speaking out against them publicly will burn more bridges between them. They say that they want to repair the relationship one day, but their actions don't reflect it. If I have an issue with my family, I deal with it privately, and I certainly don't bank on it going to media outlets and YouTube to air out their dirty laundry. It's not very Christian if you ask me. I get the sense that Jill and Derek need money, and this is an easy route to get that money." The post was scathing towards Jill and Derek, and Jill's little sister Joy liked the post, insinuating that she agreed with the commenter's opinion. As more and more people noticed Joy's agreement with the post bashing Jill, Joy unliked the post. Despite this, Jill mentioned in a video in October of 2020 that she and her family were working on healing their strained relationship now that they were past a lot of their financial issues. As we all now know, they never fully got the chance to repair things before drama struck again for the massive family. Just a few months later in April of 2021, life changed forever for the Duggar family when the oldest son Josh was arrested for possessing CSAM on a computer at his place of work. This came as a shock to the entire family, especially his 4 sisters who had been his victims in 2003. At the time of his arrest, Jill and Derek made a statement to People magazine saying, "We just found out this information yesterday. It is very sad." After the arrest, Derek exposed the show more than he had before, even going so far as to say that the public was deceived by TLC and the Duggar family. As this all transpired, it became very clear that the Duggar parents were sticking by their son's side, but that wasn't the case for much of the rest of the family. Many of the Duggar daughters began to speak out about how they were against everything that had transpired with their oldest brother, including Ginger and her husband Jeremy, and even Joy and her husband Austin, who had appeared to be on good terms with her parents just months before when she liked the Instagram post that bashed Jill. Since April, it's became very clear that the Duggar family has split in half between the family members who support Josh and the people who do not. As more and more family members come out against Josh, it appears that they're finally mending their relationship with Jill. The rift between Jill and her parents appeared to be greater than ever just this past week when it was revealed that Jill was going to be a witness in the trial for her brother Josh. Given her previous estrangement from her family and the fact that she was one of the victims as a child, it's assumed that she will be a witness for the prosecution, not in support of her brother. Once again, it's clear that the rift between Jill and her brothers is not healing anytime soon. If anything, it's the worst that it's ever been as Jim, Bob, and Michelle continue to protect and support their oldest child, Josh. However, while Jill may not be getting along with her parents, she appears to be closer than ever with her siblings who do not support her brother's alleged actions. Many of her siblings appeared in court this week, including Joy, who allegedly looked very distressed, and many believe that they were there to support Jill as she testifies against their brother, not Josh. Since Josh's arrest, Joy and Jill appear to have mended their relationship, and it looks as though Joy has become estranged from her parents as well. Just this week, after Jill dyed her hair blonde, the two sisters had a positive interaction. One sister who did not get a good response from Jill was Jessa, who many fans believe is still on good terms with her parents and brother. Although she commented on the post, Jill never responded to her sister. While Jill was previously said that she hoped to mend things with her parents, since becoming estranged over the course of the last 4 years, it doesn't appear that that's going to happen anytime soon as Josh's trial progresses. This week, Josh was found guilty of receiving and possessing CSAM, and although Jill never had to testify, she and Derek made a statement that they were in support of the verdict. Josh will receive his sentence in 75 days And finally, justice has been served for Jill and the other victims. So alright guys, hope you like this new kind of style and format of a video. If you do enjoy this video, please do me a huge favor and like, follow, share, subscribe to this video. And y'all better stay tuned for many more videos.